हेलो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब अच्छे होंगे। स्लो इट डाउन फ्रॉम द बुक थिंक लाइक अ मॉन्क, रिटन बाय जय शेट्टी। द माइंड, chapter 7, the mind. Slow it down. Sometimes reframing works better on paper. Imagine a monkey swinging from branch to branch at full throttle. It takes effort to grab its attention and force it to focus. When your mind is anxious and racing, when your thoughts are repetitive and unproductive, when you feel like you need to press pause, take 15 minutes to write down every thought that enters your mind. For a study, a group of college students spent 15 minutes a day for 4 days writing their deepest thoughts and feelings about the most traumatic experience of their lives. Not only did the students say they found the experience to be valuable, 98% said they did like to do it again, but they didn't just enjoying the writing. It also improved their health. Students who did return about traumatic experiences had fewer visits to the university health center after the study. The researchers concluded that one of the benefits of the writing may have been helping students render their worst experiences as a coherent narrative. Distancing themselves from the moment in this way allowed them to see the experiences objectively, and one hopes to conjure a happy ending. Writer Krista McGray was terrified of flying. He tried white knuckling it. White knuckling it. She tried logic. She even tried having a few drinks. But every time she knew she did have to fly, she spent weeks in advance imagining what her kids' lives would be like after she went down in a ferry crash. McGarry started blogging about his fear as a means of trying to gain perspective, and it was then she realized she was on a track to become her grandmother, who refused to fly and missed out on a lot because of it. So McGrath started listening everything she wanted to do in her life that would be worth flying for. Though she hasn't totally conquered her fear, she did manage to take a bucket list vacation to Italy with her husband. Writing by itself doesn't solve all of our problems, but it can help us gain critical perspective we can use to find solutions. If you don't like writing, you can speak into your phone, then play back the audio file or read the transcript. Many phones can transcribe spoken words into text. Recording yourself puts you in an observer mindset, making you deal more objectively with yourself. Another option is to simply repeat an ancient samurai saying that the monks use, make your mind my friend, over and over in your head. When you repeat a phrase, it quiets the default mode network, the area of the brain associated with mind wandering and thinking about yourself. The monkey will be forced to stop and listen. Find self compassion. When the anxious mind stops to listen, you can tweak the internal monologue with self compassion. When anxious thoughts arise, instead of indulging them, we respond with compassion. I knew you are worried and upset, and you feel like you can't handle this. But you are strong, you can do it. Remember, it's about observing your feelings without judging them. With my friends at the branding company Share Ability, I did an exercise with a small group of teenage girls, and this is shows. I asked the girls to write down negative thoughts they had that affected their self-esteem. They wrote down things like "You are scared," "You are worthless," "You are unimportant." Then I asked them to read what they had written to their sisters, as if it were about them. They all refused. I am not very nice. One pointed out that it was normal in her head, but completely different when she spoke it. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to people we love. We are all the golden rule: do unto others as you could have them do unto you. To that I would add, treat yourself with the same love and respect you want to show to others. ये ट्राई दिस मैं दोस्तों शॉर्ट में डालूंगी, आप वहाँ से ज़रूर देख लीजिए. We are defined by the narrative that we write for ourselves every day. It is a story of joy, perseverance, love, and kindness, or it is a story of guilt, blame, bitterness, and failure. Find a new vocabulary to match the emotions and feelings that you want to live by. Talk to yourself with love. Stay present. It can be hard to know what to tell your monkey mind when it's dwelling on the past or spanning into the future. Rather, Richard Rohr writes, all spiritual teaching this is not an oversimplification, is about how to be present to the moment. But the problem is we are almost always somewhere else, reliving the past or worrying about the future. We all have happy memories that we enjoy revisiting and painful memories that we can't let go. But both nostalgia and remorse can be traps, closing us off from new experiences and keeping us locked in the unresolved past and or the good old days. Just as the past is unchangeable, the future is unknowable. A certain amount of planning is useful and good preparation for the various scenarios ahead. But when these thoughts tip into repetitive anxiety and worry or unrealistic expectations, they are no longer protective. Whether it feels like the world's falling down around you or you are just having a bad day at work, the challenges to presence abound. Realistically, you will never reach a point in your life where you are present 100% of the time. That's not the goal. After all, thinking about good times we had to all valuable lessons we have learned in the past, and planning for our future are excellent uses of our mental bandwidth. What we don't want to do is waste time or regret or worry. Practicing presence helps us do as spiritual teacher Ram Das advised, and be here now. When your mind continually returns to thoughts of the past or the future, look for clues in the present. In your mind, seeking to shield or distract you. Instead of thinking about what mattered in the past or what the future might hold, gently guide your mind back to the moment. Ask yourself questions about right now. What is missing from this movement? What is unpleasant about today? What would I like to change? Ideally, when we talk to ourselves about the present, we look back on the negative and positive elements of the past as the imperfect road that brought us to where we are, a life that we accept and from which we can still grow. And ideally, we also think of the future in context of the present, an opportunity to realize the promise of today. यहाँ पे हम ब्रेक लेंगे दोस्तों, यहाँ पर डिस्टर्बेंस बहुत है, सॉरी फॉर द डिस्टर्बेंस। बाय फॉर नाउ, मिलेंगे हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में।